Hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm just going to briefly talk about some Amiibo. I'm pretty excited. I've got the new Dark Pit Amiibo yesterday. Wanted to tell a story about him, but first I did want to talk about some existing Amiibo. For those who don't know, they coincide with the game Smash Brothers for either the Nintendo 3DS or the Nintendo Wii U. This is the Wii U bundle. I saved the box. There's only like paper and cardboard inside, but there's the box there. This came with a controller, one of the old GameCube controllers, which if anyone has ever played with a GameCube, they know it's the best controller in the world. I might get flamed for saying that, but I love the controller, and I was so excited that they were able to bring them back and incorporate them into the new Smash Brothers, because that's how I was trained. And you could not only use the controller for Melee, but you could also use it for Brawl, because Brawl came out on the Wii, and the Wii had the little, it was backwards compatible. God bless Nintendo for backwards compatibility. It had the little slots on the top that you could plug in memory cards or controllers. So you were able to do that. So for 2 generations of games, you were playing on a GameCube controller, especially if you were like me and you were a purist. So with this one, amazing, they brought back the controller. Enough about that though. They also have the Amiibo, and the Amiibo are toys. They're not really toys, they're more just like little statues. This one's Fox. He came out in the first series. He was actually the 5th Amiibo that I got. I had to go to a different city to pick him up. This was back before I really knew what I was doing as far as Amiibo were concerned. And no one could have expected, especially Nintendo, no one could have expected them to be as popular as they were. And certain figures had limited runs. There were, of course, characters like Fox and Sea Falcon were not going to be as popular as characters like Mario and Luigi and Pikachu. That's just how things work, and so they would give each retailer a crate of Amiibo, and they would say, sell these, please, and there would be a ton more Mario than there would be Fox, or in this case, if anyone knows, it was called the Holy Trinity, which consisted of Marth from Fire Emblem, Wii Fit Trainer from the Wii Fit series, and then Villager from Animal Crossing. And those 3 came out in this first set of Amiibo. Each Amiibo has a specific set that it's arranged to, or it comes out with other ones. And so, of the first set, those 3 were nigh impossible to find. Now, at the very beginning, no one really knew that they were going to be amazing. So because I love Fire Emblem, I ordered Marth off of Amazon.com, and so I waited for the midnight release of the game. It came out the next morning. The Fire Emblem Marth Amiibo was on my door, just waiting from Amazon. I was like, oh cool, great. And then when I picked up the game, I also got Samus and Link, and I had those 3, and I was like, this will be enough. And then it turned out that people, they were freaking out because on internet forums and Reddit and whatever, and people were saying, where's the Marth Amiibo? We can't find him. And I was like, well, I have one. He can't be that hard to find. And I looked back on Amazon. He was gone, completely sold out. And as well as Villager and Wii Fit Trainer, they were gone, nigh impossible to find. So that started making me worried, because originally I wanted 3, and I think this is what Nintendo had in mind. And the completionist and the purist inside of me said, well, if the other ones are so hard to find, I have to find them. Like, that's my freaking duty. And so I went all over the state that I live in, everywhere. I drove miles and miles. I found Villager at a Walmart. I found Wii Fit Trainer, I think at another Walmart. But on opposite ends of the freaking state, and between GameStop, Target, and Walmart, I was able to piece out the first series, and there were 12 figures. Fox was one of them. And so I just grabbed each one of my favorite from each series. the second series consisted of Captain Falcon was one of the first ones. It also had Little Mac. It had Zelda. It had a couple others. Diddy Kong was one of the second series. Luigi was one of the second series. Anyway, there's all sorts of misconstrued information about when they will come out, where they will come out, and so people were freaking out. And luckily, by the grace of God, I was able to harass Best Buy long enough. I was able to get both Little Mac and Sea Falcon on the same day, and the other ones came out okay, but lots of anxiety. The third series, King Dedede was one of them. He's from Kirby, and he came out with other figures such as Sonic, Mega Man, Toon Link, Lucario, Shulk, lots of other figures. Series 3 was actually a lot of figures, and there was a big debacle from Toys R Us because Toys R Us was beginning to cancel pre-orders. So I pre-ordered Lucario, and then later on they were like, no, just kidding, you can't have it, we gave away too many. And I was like, this is absurd. And I freaked out, as well as the world freaked out, or I guess North America. Because Lucario was store exclusive. He was only going to go to Toys R Us, just like Meta Knight was only going to go to Best Buy, and Shulk was only going to go to GameStop. And I can't tell you the harassment that I had to produce the employee at GameStop in order to get reward. But so somehow they found the pre-orders again, or they reinstated the pre-orders, or they just got more and was able to give them back, or something happened. But I was able to get Lucario. I was able to get the entire Series 3. God bless it. But then it started getting crazy, and GameStop set up pre-orders, and they immediately, well, okay, not immediately, but what happened is they said, we're going to be taking pre-orders only in store, and so 1,000 people went to every GameStop, and they waited, and they waited, and they waited, and they said, okay, we're going to start the pre-order process, because people that did not go to GameStop, that did not understand the information, was at home pressing F5 1,000 times trying to refresh the page. Their entire system crashed. And I was one of the people in the store. And it took them 2 hours to get their system back online. At that point, other stores closer to specific servers were already back online, and they had completely sold out of the product. So I was waiting. I was maybe like 12th or 15th in line, and I was just waiting there for 2 hours, and I was just excited and kind of talking to other people, which one do you want, which one do you want? Have you played Splatoon yet? Are you excited for this and that? And the pre-orders came online and immediately left, and I think I was only able to get Charizard, Ness, and Pac-Man. I couldn't get the Splatoon pack, I couldn't get either Lucina or Robin. And they also were like, surprise, Jigglypuff's also going to be store exclusive. And Greninja is store exclusive. So Greninja was to Toys R Us, Jigglypuff was to Target. And so I had 3 of however many. And so I waited outside of Target in order to get Jigglypuff and Lucina. And I needed Lucina. This is Lucina. I needed Lucina, once again, because I'm a Fire Emblem fan, fanatic, purist, whatever. I love the Fire Emblem series. Played it ever since I was a kid, like a little kid. So I got Lucina and Jigglypuff. They said every person can only get 2. So I got those 2, and I was like, those were most important. The store exclusive and my favorite one, okay. Maybe Toys R Us has a couple more. So then I went over to Toys R Us, and I waited in line for another 2 hours. And I was able to get the rest of this 4th set. So everything so far is just aligned beautifully. I mean, there was a lot of freaking work involved, and I waited so long. But then Dark Pit shows up. Well, Paulentina was the Amazon exclusive. We already talked about her. This is Dark Pit, and he was exclusive to Best Buy. And so yesterday, I woke up at 4 in the morning. Didn't eat breakfast, didn't do anything. Just put on a shirt and my beanie and took off to Best Buy, and I get to Best Buy, and I was the 4th person in line. One dude had been there since midnight. 2 guys had gotten there around 3. There's another dude that showed up seconds before I did, they said, and then there was me. And we were waiting in line, and let's see, I got there around 4:30, so 5:30, 5:30, 8:30, 9:30, like 5.5 hours. I was waiting in line for 5.5 hours, and it was cold, man. It was freaking cold, and right beforehand, a bunch of people showed up, and at this point there was a Best Buy employee out there because they had shown up by that point, and they had given everyone a paper with like a ticket number. So it was like you're number 1, you're number 2, you're number 3, number 4, number 5. Yes, I was number 5, and so I'm holding my ticket and loving it, and I'm so excited to get in because it literally within like half an hour to a couple minutes I was able to get a figure, and I was psyched. And they gave ticket. They gave a ticket to this lady, and she's like, well, now that I have a ticket, I'm like secured one of the amiibo. And he's like, yeah, you're number 22. She's like, great, can I do I have to wait in line? And the guy's like, no, you can wait in your car just as long as you're here when we open the store. You'll get one. You have your ticket. You'll be able to get one. Which she interpreted as there is no line, and so she just walked right up to the front. And me and the other guys that were up at the front were like, no. And so we politely told her, explained to her that we had been there since 4, since some of us midnight. And we said, there's no way in hell that you'll be getting one before us. And she was quite upset at that. And we said, no, you'll die first. There will be blood spilled today. And just because I was hungry, and other people were hungry and cold, and there's just no way that some chick is just going to walk up and get in the front of the line. So we dealt with her, and she went to the back, and then they started almost immediately. They were like, okay, everyone, let's get in the store. So we walked in the store, and we lined up, and there was this blonde kid about half the line back, and he ran up and got right in front of me. And apparently I just don't seem like a foreboding dude. Like, I guess you can cut everyone else, and then me, not those guys. They were some scary people. Or whatever. So this kid, he must have been like 14, 15. He gets in line, and he's excited. You can tell. And he was like, yeah. He was already going to get one. This is the problem. This is what really bothered me, because everyone that had a ticket was secured a box, and it was just the timing of the thing. And so I said, the dude was so psyched, and I was like, hey man, what number do you have? And he's like, I have 12. And I was like, I have 5. You're back there. And he just, okay. And we walked to the back. That was kind of a jerky thing to do. But don't cut in line. If you're one of those people that cut in line, don't cut in line. Now, I can understand if someone's been saving you the spot. If for some reason you and your brother or sister want to tag team the front of the line and you wait there for an hour, then you go sleep in the car and they wait there for an hour, that's okay. But don't just run up and get in front of somebody who's been there since 4 in the morning. That is effed up to a level that is, to me, almost unexcusable. I'm gonna do a bad thing, everyone. Obviously, I unboxed them from here. So, I told you that I would with Palmatina. She's unboxed. She's sitting on my shelf with the other amiibo. And, I'm doing it. Don't freak out. It's already been done. This is Dark Pit, everyone. He is freaking cool, guys. He's really cool. One thing that's awesome about these is that if you remember, if you played Melee especially, there was a sense of accomplishment from getting the trophy at the end of the game. If you beat Classic Mode, Adventure Mode, All-Star Mode, whatever, there would be a table, much like this one. And it would have, well, no, it would. It would have other ones like this. And then you'd just beat it at this dark pit, right? And then suddenly there'd be nothing, and then it would be like, BAM! And he would just fall, and he would kind of like twirl a little bit and get into the right place, and just on the table. Which I think for me is a psychological thing, because it's like I have to get all of the trophies. I have to because I played Melee so much as a kid, like hours and hours spent on Melee. So that's really it. Dark Pit, everyone. Newest member of our team. The rest of the Series 5 is what we're on for Smash Brothers Amiibo. will be out. They're saying the beginning of August. No one has said for sure, so keep freaking checking the forums, check everywhere, because if you miss them, they will be gone. If Best Buy only got 24, you've got to be one of those people that get up early. If you even care. Most people don't care. I kind of wish I did care, because yesterday morning kind of sucked. But it was worth it. I got it. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.